It's Platt, and today we try a classic Apricot Ale. That's next to Platt's Beer of the Week. So the particular beer we have today is Pyramid Apricot Ale. Comes to us from the fine folks at Pyramid Brewing. A little background on Pyramid Brewing. Pyramid Brewing was founded by Tom Bond and Beth Hartwell in 1984. The brewery was located in Coloma, Washington. They were one of the pioneers of that Northwest craft beer movement. 1984, though, that's back in the days for sure. The original beer, or the original flagship beer, was a pale ale. The next year, 1985, they came out with a Wheaton ale that eventually became a Hefeweizen. It was that Hefeweizen that was probably the first Hefeweizen I ever had, or at least in the first two or three. The brewery was originally known as Hart Brewing, but in 1996, it changed its name to Pyramid, and that's about the time I was introduced to their products. The mid-90s, mid to late 90s was a time of great expansion for Pyramid. At the time, I was brewing at bartending in Dallas. They're based in Seattle, but they were distributing all the way to Dallas. And back then, for a craft brewery to have any kind of national distribution like that was pretty big deal. By that point, too, they created a full line of beers, ales, porters, IPAs, you name it, they had it. They also began building brew pubs. They had several of them. I think one in Seattle near the ballpark, Oakland, the airport. I think Sacramento had one. Time of great growth. Unfortunately for them, the good times didn't last forever. And it all probably started, just my speculation, in 2004 when they were purchased by the Portland Brewing Company. I believe part of the production was moved down to Portland at the time. And then 4 years later, in 2008, that whole entity was bought by the Independent Brewers United, the parent company of Magic Hat. And that lasted for 2 years. And then in 2010, that whole entity was purchased by North American Breweries based in Rochester, New York. 2 years after that, that whole entity was purchased by Cerveceria Costa Rica, which is actually a subsidiary of a bigger company called Florida Ice and Farm Company. Just in an 8-year period, they had 4 different owners. Things just, it probably was very stressful to work at, even if the new corporate entity didn't mess with your beer and stuff like that. Probably just the stress level and just all that movement was not good, and it's unfortunately turned bad for Pyramid since then. They have shut down the, like I said, they moved production to Portland. In 2021, Portland Brewing Company got closed. Now production is at the North American Breweries there in Rochester, New York. So it's not even made in the Northwest anymore. Like I said, their sister brewery closed. They shut down the brew pubs. The last one in Seattle was closed in May of 2020. Obviously, COVID didn't hit, but they'd already shut down a couple of the others pre-COVID, so that one necessarily, all the excuse. That full line of beers they once had shrunk down to 6, shrunk down to, oddly enough, when I bought this beer like a week or two ago to do this video, went to the website, there was 3 beers left. Today, I go on the website, just 2 left. This Apricot Ale, and they have their Outburst IPA, 8.5% ABV, 80 IBUs, kind of your classic Northwestern, just big, citrusy, piney, hoppy IPA. But it kind of sad, kind of bummer in a way, because 25 plus years ago, when I was new in bartending, but kind of getting introduced to these products, Pyramid was one of the first craft beers that I really kind of consumed. And it's just a bummer to see it happen, and I kind of appears to just that constant chain of corporate change just can't be good for a brewery, and it's kind of a bummer deal. Well, before we try this particular beer, though, let's check out the stats. So today I thought I'd talk about, since we're kind of talking about, unfortunately, a dying brewery, it at least seems from my observation. Obviously, I don't have to tell you the last couple of years have been real tough on breweries, and been tough on everybody, but the brewing business really been beat up. And I thought we'd kind of talk about the numbers, breweries closing, because I think while COVID hasn't helped, I think there's some other trends going on here. In 2021, 178 breweries closed. In 2020, it was 346. Again, COVID has not helped with this. But the year before, in 2019, you had 294 breweries closed, and in 2018, you had 219. So, yes, obviously 2020 was big, but there was already a trend going, and just for a little reference, in 2014, we only had 46 breweries closed. So again, something besides COVID appears to be up. Just a couple of thoughts on my end. First, saturation. We've kind of gotten to the point, where any town over like 50,000 people, something like that, it's going to have at least one brewery. Once you open that first one, it's probably not long till you get that second one. And these major metropolitan areas, most of them are pretty well served. To be honest with you, and unless you find the new hot suburb that's kind of remote, or you might get lucky, they build a new arena and you get that spot in, or something like that. But definitely saturation's part of it. I do also think new products, that have come out, like hard seltzers and stuff. Also, the just proliferation of low-cal drinks, low-cal and low-carb drinks, which makes it tough on beer. It makes it tough for beer. In those categories, I think that's definitely hurt. The expansion of other craft alcoholic beverages, craft distilleries, craft wineries, craft meaderies. There's kind of craft everything now, craft kombucha, everything. Again, just more competition. Also, lastly, one of the observations I have in some of these breweries, and it's actually, I can tell, not the name word, but I looked at, years ago, I looked at investing in some breweries, and they, in the past you would have, you just sold beer. Then after a while, maybe you need food or this, that, and the other. But I've noticed now a lot of breweries have full bars, and they want to get into craft cocktails. Somebody else does that, boys. Just let the experts alone in the craft cocktail world make your beer. And kind of the same with food. In the past, if you open a small brewery, the food truck, if you wanted that income over, or pizza place was always kind of the classic deal, or burgers, so maybe barbecue, something kind of simple. But now we're getting in, to gastro pubs and stuff like that, and I think that takes the eye off the beer, which is supposedly what it's all about. But that's just my 2 cents there. Let's drink a beer. All right. Nice foamy head, white foam. The slight haze of a classic kind of wheat. This is a kind of a fruit wheat beer. Subtle hint of the apricot, not overpowering. Let's give it a try. Oh, that is nice. That is real nice. That apricot is pleasant. It's, apricot is, it's just kind of a miller flavor. It's one of those things that it doesn't overpower you. And that's really nice. It complements a really nice kind of clean wheat ale, that's kind of the backbone of this. Yeah, you get that apricot. It's not a long finish. It's medium minus, but you get to keep that flavor in your mouth a little bit. It's not just gone like that, though. It does linger just a hair. Body, I'm going to say, is medium minus 2. This is a nice, easy drinking wheat ale, but it does have some body to it. There's some substance to that. Not picking up any hops, any real hop aroma or flavor in this. The IBU is pretty low. But it's just a nice, simple fruit wheat ale. Perfect for this time of year, late summer or whatever. Pretty nice beer. Again, kind of a bummer that they're falling on hard times up in Pyramid. Well, I hope you liked this video. If you did, please subscribe down below. Also, please like the video because it lets YouTube know we're putting out good content. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, or beers that you'd like me to try, please leave me in the comment section, or you can always contact me on the Twitter page. Till next time, bottoms up.